I've already spoke on, gardening and correlating that with chaos magic. And the reason why is because things happen in the garden. Like you walk the garden, and that in and of itself, all right, is causing things to happen. Just walking the garden. The plants have a certain reaction to you, one that a normal person wouldn't see. But there's, if you look up the studies on, the secret world of plants plants react. They have memory. And if you're sensitive to that, you can feel it. You walk around, you walk the garden. I mean, that alone is creating order in the garden. You get what I'm saying? Just walking the garden, observing, and it's creating changes and balances in and of itself. I have most of these plants out here that are already bigger than me, and I started them from seed, and it's a beautiful thing. It's actually a very beautiful thing. I love walking the garden. That's the whole thing. I'm not just walking it. I walk it because I love to do that. I mean, I'm walking it and I feel so at peace when I walk the garden. But understand this garden is connected to the entire planet. The ground you walk on, all right, it sends signals to this particular area. Let me talk about something very in particular, okay? Sometimes, you have parasites that manifest themselves, and they can actually manifest themselves in reality, meaning you can see certain things happening. When you have a house, I mean, you have an alarm system in your home, right? And if somebody tries to invade your home or whatnot, you have an alarm system. And let's say if you're home or if you're not home, you could be alerted. There's certain technologies that let you know that somebody is trying to break into your home. It could be connected to your phone, which you carry with you all the time, right? So this extension of you lets you know that somebody is coming into your home. And then from there, these people are more likely they'll be held in custody by the authorities, right? Which you depend on. A lot of people talk shit about the police, but you depend on these people to apprehend a criminal when you are having, an intruder in your home. All right. Now, you may have guard dogs. Now, this could be a different type of alarm system because these dogs can bark, or if you get into the property and you weren't aware that, there were dogs there, these dogs will fucking tear your shit up. And with all right, they can basically do a lot of harm to you, but you had no business being in my home. You get what I'm saying? And basically, let's say spiritually, you have this technology outside of you, but this is nothing but a version of what the technology you have within you already is, okay? Now, your awareness, for example, the eye that can see everything. Certain things try to get into your space, all right? And you try to backtrack where things come from. You hold these things in custody. They're held in custody because you are the authority. The authority is basically in God you trust, right? What is the authority to you? What do you do when you have these things in custody, right? You have an awareness of where it came from. And what do you do with this now, right? See, here's the thing. I'm observing even like the world in general. When I see the whole Will Smith and, Chris Rock situation, with the UFC, I see Masvidal and Colby Covington and how that whole thing played out. If you watch my previous videos, I spoke on that there are certain things that you could do under a time within time, right? That's why they say there's a time and place for everything, right? There's a time within time you're allowed to do something, but the moment I come out of that system or out of that box, all right, now I will be apprehended and be put in another box now, right? Because now my time has been taken away from me and is under somebody else's control, like the authorities, right? Or the system now, because I decided to step out of line, right? Let me put this, because I know I'm being a little bit cryptic here, you know what I'm saying? But I want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. Now, Colby Covington and Masvidal had a fight. Covington, a lot of yapping, right? A lot, and he's doing his job. And you know what's the funny thing is that all of a sudden now, Colby Covington has been one of my favorite fighters since he started talking shit. Okay? Because it's just, I said to myself, he's doing what he's supposed to do. Okay? In a system that we are in, he's doing what he's supposed to do. Riding a wave. Because if you think about it, that's exactly what this whole entire existence is. It's just a wave, and it's about you riding it. You ride it like a bitch, you know? So Covington is doing what he's supposed to do. Okay? He's selling fights. And in fact, he's doing Masvidal a favor. He made him more money because he sold that fight. You get what I'm saying? Now Masvidal is butthurt because he got beat. You get what I'm saying? He got beat by somebody who was talking a lot of shit. But he had his opportunity to do it, right? He had his opportunity to do it. After that, you know, good sportsmanship. The roots of MMA comes down to being able to shake hands at the end, regardless of the shit talking that happens, right? Because, you know, you had your time to settle it in a ring under rules with a referee, right? How do you think the court systems work, right? I mean, you got the referees, the judge, and whatnot. And I mean, you can watch the works of Jordan Maxwell, okay? And he will talk about how the whole court system works. I'm not going to go into it here because I'm not going to start to go crazy on talking just about that. But if you go to Jordan Maxwell's information, he mentions how the courts and referees and, you know, you got your ball on a court, and, you know, it's very, very interesting how it all ties into what you actually see in reality, right? Or in actuality, or reality, actuality, what's the difference? But in actuality or whatever, you know, look at it with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Chris Rock was being a comedian. That's his job. He's being a comedian. His job is to actually insult people. His job is to actually, you know, make people laugh. Now, here's another thing that, and I got this from Colby Covington. He calls it, this is the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. It's not the Ultimate Feelings Championship. But in actuality, when you look at it from even the system of, first of all, I didn't even know there was an awards, and I don't think many people even knew there was an awards. But how many ratings did it get just because of that drama, right? But it's not the, you know, that shouldn't be a feelings system or situation either. You see, the guy was just talking words. He's just talking words. So Will Smith decided to get up on stage and smack Chris Rock right in the face, right? Now, I'm going to tell you something. If I was Will Smith, because this is how you could tell that that woman has Will Smith under control to some extent, because Chris Rock was making jokes and Will Smith was laughing the entire time. And he even laughed at the G.I. Jane joke until he saw that his wife got upset. And that's when he got up and decided to basically smack Chris Rock, right? Only after, because he laughed at it first. Now, I personally would not have gotten insulted. I personally, especially, would not have gotten up to smack Chris Rock in the face if my wife had a health condition and he basically made fun of it whether he knew or not. You get what I'm saying? Because they're just words. Now, if we go now on the flip side, if I was Chris Rock and I got smacked in the face, I don't care how much maturity or, you know, let's say spirituality or religion or whatever you want to add to it. If he came up and physically hit me in the face, I am going to beat the snot out of him. I would destroy him if he physically came up on stage to touch me. And the reason I'm saying this is because these are not words anymore. This is physicality. I made a joke. I was doing my job. Colby Covington was doing his job if he pressed charges on Masvidal, because he is no longer a fighter. He is now a citizen. He was in a restaurant and he's a citizen on the street. All right? A pedestrian, and he got assaulted by a fucking hoodlum or a muggler. He fucking had his face covered and sucker punched him, and that's a direct attack. Okay? So he has the right to press charges. For those fucking assholes that want to say that he's a pussy because he presses charges or calls the police, he's not a fighter outside of the octagon. Okay? He's a citizen. So he could press charges. All right? Chris Rock, if he decided to punch Will Smith back, he would have been in his right because that's self-defense. All right. Now, people say that this thing was staged or it was fake. I don't believe it was fake. I believe it was a real event. But again, everything that we believe is a real event is still fake anyway. This whole entire existence is fake anyway. It's a stage. Right? But some people are acting and not realizing they're acting, but everything is the act of. When you're doing anything, that's why when you look up the definition of anything that involves you doing something, it says the act of. That's what it is. It's an act. Everybody in their physical life, you're going to work, you're still acting, right? You're having an argument with somebody, you're acting, right? Now, let's say, for example, somebody decides to talk about me. I've had these experiences. I've already reacted, especially even on YouTube, when somebody has spoken about me. And I realized afterwards that was a waste of time to react to that. Do you get what I'm saying? To react. It was a waste of time. So I've evolved and changed from that mentality. But I'm glad it happened because I was able to learn from that. See, the key is to become better after you do something. I killed a papaya tree. I know better next time, and I will not be killing any more fucking trees because I will not make the same mistake I did. But it's about becoming better, not repeating the same mistakes. That's how people in life repeat patterns and go through shit in their life because they're just repeating patterns. Right? But if somebody pisses me off, and let's say I know I have certain abilities, I'm not going to try to hurt them. I'm not going to do anything that's going to make their life harder. Who gives a fuck what their opinions are about me or what their opinions are about what I say or about what they say? Let's say if they say something about me or what, I don't give a fuck. It does not matter. Say whatever you want. Disagree with me. I will never throw an indirect jab at you. As far as energy goes, that's why people say he threw, I felt like that was an indirect jab at me, even though you didn't physically touch him. Just you directing energy to them is a jab in and of itself. But you could kind of see these little things happening, right? And what do? I mean, do you get up and fight back? No, I'm not going to fight back. In fact, here's the thing, though. Let's say, for example, if somebody throws an indirect jab at me, the guard dogs have already taken care of his ass. That's for one. All right? The alarm system was tripped. I'm aware of it. Okay? There's moments where you have to do nothing. You don't have to do anything. You could just sit back and things will just happen. Okay? Because your alarm systems are up. Now, the thing is that am I the type that attacks back? If I get physically touched, yeah, I'm gonna fuck your ass up. I'm telling you, maybe I need to evolve from that spot, right? But you physically touching me, I have the right to defend myself, right? Because I just said words. It wasn't. You see, now when we talk about the system and how we use words, hate speech and whatnot, discrimination, okay, these things can get you into a lot of trouble, right? Let's say that was a little G.I. Jane joke, okay? Things that aren't basically discriminating or considered hate speech that you can get censored for, because you could still get censored for words, because we are in an ultimate feelings championship world right now, right? Which I've already said in my previous videos, I'm the champion of the world. I'm the world champion, the universal champion, okay? This is my world. But what do? You hold things in custody, right? What do you do when you have something in custody and you have it at your grasp, right? What do? I can get it to the point where that person would be so fucked up that they would have to actually break out of their little shadow or behind the screen position and say, stop. And I will stop. I'll stop, because you told me to stop. But I'm a mirror. You get what I'm saying? I'm your mirror. I'm your mirror, but I'm also your brother. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want something bad to happen to me? Or why would you wish harm on me in any kind of way? Right? Why would you do that? Just for words? I could stop. I'll stop. I'll be like, I'll stop, Of course, you're my brother. I'll stop. But don't attack me. Don't do this, man. Don't make me do this, That's why I said don't make me do this. But anyway, let's talk about the diseases part now. Because here's the thing, though. We talk about disease parts. There is no diseases, right? We start to become these little sensitive, emotional about when somebody has a condition. Like I was watching a short on Razor Ramon or Scott Hall where it said that he refused to sign an autograph for a child who had cancer. But then again, you start to say, well, what's the difference? He decided not to sign it. But why is it any more special because the kid had cancer, right? Let's say an adult. He decided not to sign a paper to somebody. Oh, but he had cancer, you know? But because he had cancer, they have special privileges, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's not to be insensitive towards certain things. I'm not talking about all that. But the whole thing is that we start to say, oh, this person has cancer, so we should treat him with special privileges. Like Jada Pinkett Smith has alopecia. But we start to ask ourselves, what's the cause of alopecia? Was it because of how she was eating? Could be. But then there's something more deeper to that I'm actually observing. You know what I'm saying? I want you to look at this. Jada Pinkett Smith, all right? This hasn't been publicly said that I know of, and I don't know anything about Jada Pinkett Smith. All I know is that I used to have a crush on her when she was younger, when she was making the movies. Like I remember Set It Off. She was fucking hot. I had a big crush on her when in that movie Set It Off. She looks very different now. I mean, I used to watch a lot of porn, you know? And I can tell you right now, there's porn actresses that I used to watch, but then I used to be like, wow, she's fucking hot. But then you see them through time, they got lip insertions, they got their ass enhanced, their titties are now like this big and shit. And for some reason, I'm more into the natural side of things, not and whatever. It could be a cup size, a breast, it could be a big boobs, but as long as they're natural, they just look more attractive to me. But here's the thing though. She's had surgeries, okay? And allegedly, let's say, supposedly it appears to be that she has surgery. It appears that she was eating a certain way and she changed her diet now. But here's the thing though. When you have surgeries, if she had surgeries, I'm just making this as an example, okay? Because, we could see some differences in her, but maybe it's just she ages a different way. So I'm not making claims. But let's say if she's had surgeries, just the fact that you have to have surgeries, there's certain, things such as anesthesia that cause issues, okay, within yourself that can cause nerve issues. Now, here's the thing though. Let's say, for example, your health, this is how your health runs, is if for you to get energy, carbon and oxygen combined in your body is adenosine triphosphate, ATP. All right, this is the primary source of fuel for your body to move, okay, for you to have energy, for your muscles, all right? Sugar metabolism is very important. If you don't have sugar metabolism working properly in the body, and you don't have to be diabetic, okay? But there's going to be imbalances of chemistry, okay? If you're not utilizing sugars properly, it's going to cause hypo or hypoglycemia, meaning blood sugar levels could go up or down, okay? You also may have fungal issues if you're not metabolizing sugars properly, right? Fungal issues on the skin create issues on your body, okay? Nerve issues. Now, nerves surround every tissue in the body. In fact, it's nerve, lymph, and blood, okay? The blood feeds it, the nerve moves it, and the lymph cleans it, okay? If you take anesthesia, okay, this affects your adrenals. The adrenals are responsible for corticosteroids, like the steroids that, go around the body. This is also in turn now connected to the kidneys, all right? If the kidneys are affected, okay, this is messing up the autonomic nervous system, okay, which is basically responsible for breathing, okay, circulation. I mean, things that you're not aware of, like heartbeat, okay? Now, if you have nerve issues, okay, let's say if you get nerve issues, this is going to block the production of beta cells to produce insulin, okay? So this is why you may have sugar metabolism issues and still not have any pancreatic issues, but it may be nerve issues, okay? And this can even be connected, this can even go as far as to the central nervous system, all right? Now, I did a little Google search that anybody can actually do, and you'll see that I'm just logging into my phone, okay? I typed in, does not metabolizing sugar properly cause hair loss? And it says high blood sugar levels, damage to blood vessels can restrict blood flow, resulting in certain cells getting less oxygen and nutrients than they need. Excuse me. This deficiency can negatively impact the normal growth of hair follicles that can lead to hair loss. All right. And then now I'm going to start to go into a different area, such as like stem cells and whatnot. Ivermectin, which a lot of people are pushing, but this video is going to cut off pretty soon, so I'm going to have to make a part 2 on this. But this topic is very interesting because there's certain things that are pushed, and I'm going to tell you something right now. If they didn't want something publicized or public, it would not be public. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that are pushed, and then certain things set up by the opposition, such as the one you would consider the opposition to you, the government, which is still you anyway, and they go and start to attack ivermectin. Okay, it's just a narrative of story created just for you to feel like now there's a need created for ivermectin, or for you to have a need for stem cell therapy, or for you to have a need for certain things in society that you observe, that because it's a little trick they play. You know what I'm saying? There's a story all surrounding it. Go back and find out what all these things actually really are. You know, as far as like even stem cells, blood. All right. I'm going to make another video on that. But a lot of the times, a lot of the conditions that we are faced with, that we would consider a disease, which is nothing but an imbalance, is things that we've done to ourselves. And then we expect sympathy from others, right? When we are in a certain state. If something happens to you, right, where your life is all in shambles, who are you to blame? You don't blame nobody. You blame yourself. What do? You take control. You take charge of your reality. And you get up and stop bitching and just change it, right? The whole thing is it's going to require you to have a little bit of knowledge. This is where knowledge really is that power. Because you can have a little bit of knowledge and then you can actually change your reality with a knowledge. Like, you become aware of something. The whole thing is that ignorance here would be you thinking that you're healing something when you're just nothing but treating symptoms, right? You can get off a pork, chicken, and meat diet, but go into a fish diet and think you're doing better, but it's the same fucking shit. It's still on the same side of chemistry. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm eating fish and salads, yet that's on the same side of chemistry as the pork and the meat and the chicken. But you think eating fish is making it any better. Now, everything in moderation, of course. But I also believe the mind over matter. And you can also redefine the meaning of anything in your life. You get what I'm saying? However, there's a chemistry. Okay? There's a chemistry. Everything works, but you can make it work based on chemistry. That's basically saying as within, so without. I'm going to make another video because this video is going to cut off. So we'll talk soon.